Hi, my name is Sam with Virtual Scopes. If you're watching this, then there's a good chance that you have filed an insurance claim on your roof, and perhaps you're currently trying to work with a contractor. Well, we work directly with this contractor that is likely showing you this video. But what I wanted to do is I'm just making this video just as a little bit of information. In just a couple of minutes, I want to kind of explain the process and some things that we've noticed that's become very important for us to make this video, and ultimately explain our business and sort of our position when it comes to your claim. So after the insurance company comes out and they have verified that they are going to be replacing your roof, they're going to make an xactimate estimate. Now, xactimate is a software owned by a company called Verisk. Now, that company is owned by insurance companies. But this software is designed to find material and labor cost based on a zip code and put it all into a system and get updated every single month. Now, what that enables the user to do is to make an estimate based on just inputting line items. You're not changing material price, you're not changing your labor, you're not changing your profit or your expenses. You're just adding the line items based on what you see, or in our case, based on the pictures that we see that the contractor has taken. With xactimate, the insurance company can choose, or that insurance adjuster can choose, which items to input or, in some cases, omit. Which the omit part is the very important part. So when we write scopes of work, we also use xactimate. So we're using the exact same software, the exact same price list, same material, same components, same labor, everything, same profit margin. The big difference is we're xactimate certified, which means we've actually gone through the classes that xactimate has in order to understand how to use it exactly as it was intended. Xactimate even publishes different, one of the things they have is called the white paper, and in there it explains exactly how things should be done. As one example would be overhead and profit, which when you end up getting the scope that we create, it always includes overhead and profit. And then also based on where you're located, the Department of Insurance for your state may also have their own letters and sort of their view on overhead and profit, but xactimate says it should be out in every single claim. Now, it's important to remember that whenever an insurance adjuster goes through their training, one of the things that they are taught, really the priority, is do enough to make sure the policyholder or yourself is satisfied, but ultimately make sure that the adjuster has the interest of the insurance company first priority. So they want to make sure they're protecting their assets, their funds, so they always do just the bare minimum. What that means is whenever they make an xactimate scope, it typically omits a lot of items. That's where we come in. We help the contractor, and ultimately by doing that, it helps you make sure that you're getting everything that you need and deserve paid for, so that way the entire roof is covered with all of the code requirements, manufacturing specifications can be met to make sure the roof maintains a valid warranty through the manufacturer, also to make sure that the contractor is making profit and is actually getting paid to do the work they're doing, because let's be honest, nobody works for free. At least they shouldn't work for free anyway. So I'm going to give you one example of something that occurs a lot. Now, this particular example may not necessarily be true on your house particularly, but it's the most common example I could find, and we'll just compound this example 30 times over. So let me paint the picture for you. So whenever a roof gets installed, the first row after you've installed like the felt, maybe the drip edge, you've installed all that stuff, now you're going to put the shingles on. The very first row is called the starter shingle row. So there's really 2 or 3 ways of doing that. One, you can use a universal starter strip, which we call a true starter shingle, or you can use the filled shingles, which would just be like the shingles that you can see. The contractor could turn those upside down and install them. I mean, it's debatable as to whether or not that's technically okay, but we'll just pretend like it is okay. The other way is they can use those filled shingles, and rather than flipping them upside down, they can actually cut the tabs off or cut the bottom part off, putting the tar strip closer. I'm not going to get too much into that detail, But let's say that your house already has true existing starter shingles. Well, when the insurance adjuster writes their scope, they write it to include it in the waste. Or in other words, they write it to include flipping a shingle upside down. Now, there is no doubt that a true starter shingle is a better product. It's a much more superior way of installing a roof. If you already have that product, then you are 100% entitled for that product to be reinstalled on the roof. Now, unfortunately, it happens every single day over and over and over again. The adjuster either he doesn't check, or I've even seen them in writing say, "We checked and the home did not exhibit true starter shingles." But then we have a clear, obvious picture that it did. Now, was that a blatant lie on purpose? I can't say. I'm not sure. What happens most often, though, is it just gets completely omitted. Now, if the adjuster ends up telling you to go get 3 other estimates and then you choose to use what the insurance provided you as the source of those estimates, yeah, those estimates might come in as the same, slightly higher, slightly lower even than the insurance estimate. But the reality is, let's say on like a 2,000 square foot home, that one item that you're entitled to, that true starter, that's like a $700 difference. Now, there's no labor in that. That is material only. As a matter of fact, it's less labor to install a true starter shingle than it is to cut the tabs off of a filled shingle that's included in the waste. But you're entitled to that. Now, if we compound that one example 30, 40 times over, which is what we see constantly, you can begin to see why when we create the scopes, it is not about the dollar amount, right? We're creating the scope based on the line items that we see and what we know to be a code requirement, assuming that your policy has code endorsements, and what we know is required by the manufacturer that your contractor is using. We spend a lot of time studying that stuff. We're going to make sure that we do everything we can to get you what you're supposed to have, because that's what an insurance policy is for. Now, as mentioned, we're xactimate certified, which, to be honest, like 95% or more of adjusters aren't, much less level 2 or level 3 certified. So if they do advise you to go get other estimates, just be warned that they're hoping you will find someone cheap willing to cut those corners, or someone who doesn't know any better, or someone who just thinks to themselves, oh, their policy must not include it, so I'm not going to charge for it because I want to get the job. If you've got that guy, we call him Chuck in the Truck, if you've got that contractor giving you an estimate, you should run and be very, very warned. Now, all we ask is that you trust us, which I know it's hard to say because we've never met, so I understand the hesitancy. But I'm making this video simply because I'm sick and tired of homeowners getting taken advantage of, taken for a ride by their insurance adjuster. I've even had adjusters just recently, the week I'm making this video, 3 different contractors told me that the insurance adjuster called the homeowner after seeing our estimate, our scope of work, and bad-mouthed the contractor. Now, thank goodness those homeowners liked the contractor and told them that that happened, and they were told to get their estimates. Which, let's just be clear, if you do already have a contract with your contractor, and the insurance adjuster knows that, make sure you let them know I'm already under contract, and you should be under contract for the entire amount that we write for. If that's the case, and they still tell you you have to get their estimates, just so you know, that is them attempting to breach a contract. They are trying to break up that contractual relationship, which is known as tortious interference and is a serious, serious offense. So we're going to work super hard on making sure that we can take the best care of you as we possibly can, and ultimately our client, the roofing contractor, we want to make sure that they're taken care of and make sure they make a profit. You should want to use the most expensive contractor that you can find. You should want to find the guy who wants to install as many possible items, replace as many possible things as we can, because that's going to make sure that you're ending up with a better product. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to pay a deductible anyway, whether it's $1, $5, or $10,000, you're going to pay it no matter what. If you go any cheaper than really our estimate that we're creating, our scope of work, if you do less than that, the only person that wins is the insurance carrier. So we just want to make sure that you understand what's going on. We're going to be in touch with you. We're going to build this scope. We're going to make sure that you're involved in all the communications. Just be aware, we will make sure that you are copied in every single email. However, more than likely the insurance adjuster will, 1, try to call us directly and not have you involved. 2, will call you and try to scare you. And when they do respond via writing and email, they are probably going to remove you from those emails. We will do the best that we possibly can to add you back in and keep you updated and be completely transparent throughout the entire process. So if you ever have any questions, feel free to reach out to your contractor, or you can reach us at virtualscopes.com. Look us up, find our phone number, give us a call, and if you want to talk to me directly, just ask for Sam, and I'll make sure to make myself available for you.